My name is June Savage, and I feel I am the people's candidate. I am your voice, and I will be having an open door policy that Xavier Suarez taught me. I myself have been working for many years behind the curtain, what I like to say, in regards to public safety with FDOT, doing bicycle advocacy rides for the Lotus House Women's Shelter. So I do all of these things in the background, and when I saw what was going on with our city, I decided to step in front of the curtain.
So again, thank you, and thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to say it again, consensus and experience. I don't run away from the fact that I have commissioners and the mayor and others supporting me because they know I'm ready to do the job day one. And we need to work together to get what we need here in this district. We have you as voters and constituents. We have business owners as voters and as constituents. We need to all come together. Again, I have the experience to start day one to make this a better place for all of us. Thank you.
Would you rather have someone that knocks on your doors or sends you robocalls? Because I know I've been knocking on doors trying to get everyone's attention and trying to hear everyone's issues and not just making them up based on things I hear on the internet. I jumped into this campaign because I really believe this city needs a lot of change, and that change includes standing up to a lot of people that people are afraid to stand up to. Thank you. My name is Max Martinez, maxformia.com.
As a former news investigative reporter and political scientist, I know that I have what it takes to be your voice in the city of Miami. I'm a working mom of three children, and I am extremely honored to be able not only to address you, but to make sure that we get an honest person, a renewal in our commission. Thank you, and for those who don't remember, SabinaCovo.com, by the way, Max.
One of the questions I was asked was, if you lose, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? You know, if you live here in Coconut Grove, that when I lost in 15, I lost in 19. I didn't go away. I was there with you when we were fighting the redistricting. I was there with you when we were doing the NCD. Thank you.
My name is Christy Tasker, and I'm not going away either, and I'm probably your only candidate to actually stand up to the politicians who won't take any money. The only donations I will take are from the people. You can go to ChristyTasker4Miami.com, and that's ChristyTaskerfor Miami.com.
Okay, so 2 days ago I had my 40th birthday. For me, it's all my life I'm experienced for that. From the moment that I came to the US, this is my American dream, to represent democracy, and I can involve my innovation, my truth, and my experience for the residents.
Lorenzo Palomares, I am the solution candidate. I promise you on the first meeting, we will have cheaper housing. I intend to divorce ourselves and the city from the people in Tallahassee and create our own insurance fund to insure ourselves here and not have to go to Tallahassee.
Eddie Leal, I will immediately be able to start to work. I have been doing it for the last few years by introducing legislation, working hard to push forward. We need someone to hit the ground running, is not afraid, has already articulated legislation. I'm ready to start. Give me the chance. I'm ready, and I've already served you for years here. Thank you. And to finish, I will not be going away. This is my house. This is my home. This is where I grew up, and this is where my family we call home. Thank you.
As you can tell, I am not a politician in any sense of the word. My commitment to serve as your next commissioner is solely based on civic responsibility. This is not a career path for me. My promise to you is if I am given the opportunity to serve you, I'll be here as long as you need me. You won't see me running for any other office in any other district, no political aspirations beyond serving the community here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mario Vuksanovic, and my principle in life is very simple. God, family, and country. I want you to have my phone number. It's 305-803-8259. As your commissioner of District 2, you can call me 24/7. I'll be there. I'll talk to you personally. We'll work together. I'm going to surround myself with a great team. Me and you will make a great team. Thank you.
I think at least 3/4 or more of the people in this room know who I am. I do whatever it takes. I'm not going anywhere, and I don't make a dime here in Miami. I work for free, and I will continue to work for free. I'm just here to do the job, and make sure things get done. Thank you.
First of all, thank you to the Women's Club for having us here tonight. It's very simple. I've already done on-the-job training with the advocacy that I've done. The results have proven themselves not only for the district, but for the community in general. I hope to have your support and vote as we move further in this process. VoteJamesTorres.com. Thank you.
I've already worked with everyone at the city, and I continue to have a good relationship with Commissioner Hardiman, who is now County Commissioner. I have already worked with Christine King, who has replaced Commissioner Hardiman. I have a good working relationship with everyone in some capacity or another. There's one or two that are a little bit more difficult, but we still seem to be able to work on issues that are near and dear to my heart. And I also have relationship with some of the other county commissioners. And I think that it's important that we all get together and bring things to the table. And we need to work together with the citizens because you all have the least say-so. We have had the least say-so in what's going on. Thank you.
Everyone knows me as the president of the DNA, and I had to bridge gaps between the county commissioner, where there was zero relationship, at least in our part of the district. We took on one challenge, and that challenge was, everyone's familiar with Parcel B behind the old arena, right? I was told by somebody who's in this audience that I will not mention, you take that task, they're gonna chop you off at the legs. I said, okay, great, that's 25 years ago, they made a promise, they need to deliver on that. We've been having high-level conversations currently with the county to tackle that issue, and we're still having that. Now remember, I said I'm from downtown. But I'm not from downtown, I'm from the district. And I've been able to champion that bridge in reaching out to the county. We also turn around and reach out to the other commissioners in establishing relationships with the park, right? So that is a gap that we had to deal with in terms of the chronic homeless that have been camping in the parks, that we've turned around and committed that with the city. So bridging the gaps.
Yes, I agree with my colleagues that we should have more town hall meetings so we can get together and really focus on our priorities, because everybody's opinion is important in District 2. And everyone has needs that need to be looked at and taken care of, not just been told, but actually to see results. I always want to focus on where the homeless are concerned. We have in our community now up to 7,500 homeless, and we only have 1,500 beds in the homes now for the centers of the homeless, and this is totally uneven. So I would focus on that, but I think it's important for us to open dialogue, get to know one another better, understand our needs, everybody's needs, and what's best for District 2.
A quick background. From an academic standpoint, I've got degrees in criminal justice, business. I have an MBA in finance. I'm used to working with very large budgets, international budgets, large staffs, international staffs. As you can imagine, in the corporate world, you're used to working in large administrative committees. I mean, lots of personalities, lots of different agendas, especially in the corporate world. It's important that you gather around a simple objective. I mean, I think everyone wants to improve and do better for the constituents in the district. Everybody may have different ways of getting there, but I've proven through the years the ability to work with all types of individuals, cultural, international. I certainly have the academic background to do that, and I have every confidence I can work with very difficult personalities.
I went up to City Hall, I fought at City Hall, I defended my neighbors, I defended myself in that process. And during that process, I earned the opportunity to be part of the city. And for the last 4 years, I have been working at the city, passing legislation, like the Woodvine legislation regarding intervention for historic preservation. I know the system. So after knocking to so many doors and getting to hear you and what you need, I have the skill set that we need in order to start the ground immediately. What do I mean by that? I direct myself with all the directors, all the departments, and I have the communication on an ongoing basis with them. We need someone that can hit the ground running That's me. If you give me the chance, District 2 will be a different and beautiful place. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. I look forward to talking to you a little bit more. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the time. Thank you for being here. I am your solutions candidate. I don't need any on-the-job training. I am the vice chairman of the board of the Construction Trades Qualifying Board for Miami-Dade. And the same way we did it at the board and we took the licenses of the people that were taking money away from the homeowners, we're gonna do it here again. I already removed and resolved several issues of flooding in Miami Beach, and I'll do the same in Brickell. And part of it is Miami, for the last 80, when was it, the lawsuits of that commissioner since 83, they've received $3.9 billion in impact fees that they squandered someplace. And it didn't go to make sure that the water drained. And we have to keep our communities what they are. The Grove, it's a jewel, it cannot be touched. As an environmentalist, I will not remove a tree. West Coconut Grove needs its own addressing issues. Vote for me, and thank you for your time.
So we have half a year until somebody has been elected, until the next election. So it means that this half a year, the one that being elected need to prove himself in order to be elected again. So you need to work hard for that. So as soon as I'm starting, I need to do a plan of what I'm doing in the next half a year to fulfill this seat in the maximum order and the maximum positive way in order for me to prove myself to be elected again. This is the first. The second, we can digitalize, we can do a website to accessible people to approach me and approach us in a way already to put ideas, to see what we can do in this half a year already until the next election, because we don't have a lot of time for that. We can start from day zero and have all the answers. Beside of meetings and halls that taking time and everything in Miami taking time, we can do things that are innovative and faster than what we can do because we have half a year.
I've already started, and I've already started contacting the media. I started about 2 years ago. I've also started contacting multiple consultants, traffic engineers, to ask why the best traffic engineers have not been brought into our county and our city. I've met with Eileen Higgins, our commissioner, regarding garbage, medians, other things that are not being taken care of, where the city points fingers at the county and the county points fingers at the city. So I've already defined what the city owns, what the county owns, and on day one I'll hit the ground running, actually making motions and getting started so that we can preserve some of our buildings that are here, preserve our tree canopies, and the important things that we cannot get back if we allow developers to continue to rape our land.
Some of you know that I've been doing this a long, long time, and I think one of the realities is there's very few candidates that can hit the ground running. There's really only 6 or 7 meetings that we're going to be dealing with before the election. And really the biggest item that we're going to have is the budget. A lot of the legislation is already in place and ready to be voted on. It's just waiting for us to be put in place, whoever is chosen District 2. But I think one of the keys in all of these years that I've been doing this, and not as a commissioner or a candidate, but really just working behind the scenes, you generate and you get relationships with people in the county, in the state, in the city level, and maybe it's not in the commission level, but it's on the staff level. The other day I got a note saying, hey, Hav, what's going on with Kennedy Park? And I answered the question because I was able to do just one phone call and I got the answer. So I think it's really about that relationship, that you can accomplish things in a way that just happens. Thank you.
When I become your commissioner, I'm going to be there sitting 9 months. 9 months, and then I need to make sure that I get reelected. 9 months is what a baby takes to grow in your belly. We can be here telling our constituents and telling you as a community that we're going to solve every issue, but that's not a reality. Why don't I, as a commissioner, take baby steps to first and foremost listen to you guys, and I've already did, preserve our historic sites, preserve our green spaces and enhance them, and make sure that we feel secure in our community. I think those 3 items can be my baby agenda to make sure that I get reelected in November and that I can continue in this role.
I personally would not be standing up here if I only planned on having the job for 7 months. I do see it as a 8 to 9 year plan. We really need to step up and be accountable for everything that's going on. We need to actually start doing things to mitigate the environmental crisis. For example, the building of mangroves and where's all the $192 million in flooding money and storm draining? We need someone who's just going to say, screw you, you can't treat our people like this anymore. You can't go and try to make our beach a homeless encampment. Hey, you can't go there and just shut down a restaurant. You can't just go around imposing your agenda on other businesses and districts, because this city survives on its people, and if you take the things away from them that they love, they will leave it and people will no longer love it.
So again, specific as to me, I have the experience, and there's 2 words, and I'll bring it up again in my closing. It's consensus and experience. I have always been a consensus builder. I worked on the Public Health Trust. It was a $4 billion budget. I have the experience to deal with these issues. They elected me to be the treasurer because of my financial background and my experience. I was elected to the Grove Council. The council elected me to be the chairman because, again, I have the consensus and the ability to work with people. On the bench, we dealt with issues all the time where we affected people's lives. I've been in office. I understand this community. I have the experience. I have the relationships with our mayor, with our commission, with our county commission. People view that as good. People view that as bad. We can't do this alone. The difference that relates specifically to me is I've been in public office. I've been in this community. I have the relationships and the experience to continue with a consensus to get work done in our community. Thank you.
Okay, so for over 2 years, I have been sitting at City Hall in specific meetings. I've been studying the personalities. I know what's been coming up on the agendas. I have already a working relationship with our police department. I already have been going to our parks. I already have a relationship with Ken's office. And I've already promised them that I'm going in there with the top 10 lists that I already know of, and I'm cutting that list down. I'm a proactive person. I do not want to sit there at City Hall and get nothing done. Hurricane season and preparedness will only start a few months after I begin. So being a proactive person and knowing that hurricane season is coming, I'm not going to have a deficit of pumps and other things that we are going to need to protect our community. Thank you.
Have you ever spoken at a city commission meeting more than one time in your life? Have you ever spoken at a city commission meeting more than once in your life? Have you ever attended either a Historic and Environmental Preservation Board or Planning, Zoning, and Appeals Board meeting in the last 4 years? Do you have any relatives employed by the city or its contractors? Have you ever been arrested? Follow-up, have you ever been convicted? Have you ever been convicted? Do you think we need to commit more money to the police budget? Do we need to commit more money to the police budget? Do you have at least a bachelor's degree? At least a bachelor's degree. Have you ever filed for bankruptcy? Bankruptcy is the question. Do you support the county's Coconut Grove Playhouse plan? Have you ever been the manager of a business with more than 5 direct reports? Direct report employees that report directly to you. At least 5. Would you have voted, if you were commissioner at the time, to approve the new district map that is currently being challenged by the ACLU? Would you have voted for the Mel Reese Inter-Miami real estate deal as it existed when approved last April, as is? Would you have voted for the Mel Reese deal last April as it was presented to the commission on that night? Do you agree with Mayor Suarez that the Inter-Miami real estate contract is, quote, the best sports deal in the history of this country, end quote? He was super serious, bro. Do you support a homeless encampment on Virginia Key? Would you have voted to terminate Police Chief Art Acevedo? Would you have voted to terminate Police Chief Art Acevedo at that meeting? Have you received a donation to your campaign from the mayor, a sitting commissioner, or any of their political committees, so indirectly from any of them, to your campaign? With Mel with the follow-up, would you accept a donation to your campaign from the mayor, a sitting commissioner, or any of their political committees? Come on now, tell the truth. Would you support a charter amendment to prevent the mayor from having outside employment? Not just this mayor, but any mayor. Would you support a charter amendment to prevent the mayor from having outside employment? Would you support a charter amendment to add additional districts and commissioners to better represent our ever-growing community? Would you support a charter amendment to ensure all city elections are held on even years to conform them and maximize voter turnout? Do you think the previous D2 City Commissioner Ken Russell did a good job? Final question. This is not a yes or no, but we'll start here and go around. Just yell out a number. How many years or months consecutively have you currently lived in District 2? So currently, I understand if you moved away, but current consecutive years that you have lived here in the district.
9 years total.
9, 18, 30, 7, 11, 9, 2, 4 years, 6 months, 30, 22, 5, 35, 4,